morning. Welcome to Sacred Enzyme. I'm Stacy. I hope you're doing well today. So today I want to go over some changes that I did to this diagram that I did a video on a few days ago, or maybe it was last week, about the different frequencies of the same Earth Oversoul. And I had another video that I done, and since that time I've been looking into this a lot more, and so I have modified this diagram a bit from the last one. The last diagram I did based on the information that I got from my teacher, and that was from the Keylontics teachings, the Freedom Teachings, but I think this actually is more like it. So I want to, before we dig into all of this, I want to talk to you a little bit about water and seeds. And so I'm going to try to just put all this together into one. So I want to talk about all the changes that we're having on the planet right now, because the planet is going through a lot of changes, almost like a woman having birth, going through childbirth. And the planet has been in an ascension cycle for a long time. But everything really started happening in 2012. And that was when we had the end of the Mayan calendar. So what I want to talk about is the Earth's memory. I want to talk about the importance of seeds and how we don't need to be panicking when we're going into this new phase of Earth, because Earth is going to go through some changes, and we just need to be a little prepared, and we need to do some preparation for this, because we can help this progression come along in a better, smoother way. Okay, so with the ice melting and the volcanic activity and the earthquakes and the different things that are happening all over the planet, hurricanes, tornadoes, we've been having a lot of this stuff going on across the country, and we've had massive floods in Texas. We just had a flood in North Carolina. I mean, there's floods that are happening all over the world. There's a reason for this, and so I'm going to explain. I'm going to explain some more into detail about it. So I want to share what's just deeper than what we're being told with climate, and I want to try to give some people some assurance that I want to speak about the memory that is inside our planet, and it's inside of us. It's inside of us too. So right now we're seeing all of this stuff happening, and so what if this is just not about global warming? What if this is something spiritual? Because is the real shift environmental, or is it vibrational? So the Earth is undergoing a massive frequency shift, and her base harmonic is rising, and this is solar activity, magnetic changes, and us awakening is changing the planet. Okay, it's not just global warming, and when this happens, the density required to keep water frozen becomes unstable. Okay, it's not just because of the heat, but it's because of the energetic field that held that ice, and it can't hold it anymore, because ice is structured memory, folks. Ice is structured memory. It holds trauma, it holds timelines, it holds unprocessed history. Layer upon layer of these planetary emotions are locked inside of ice. And so as we are ascending, and as the planet is these different portions of Earth, the different portions of this main oversoul of Earth, as some of these start converging together, we're going to have things that are going to be happening. And one of the things that's going to be happening is these ice rings that are on the planet. They're going to melt. And we're going to find Atlantis again. And we're going to find Lemuria again. Because at one time we had this convergence. It was 25,000 years ago when the Mother came back. And when we had this convergence at that time, we had Atlantis and we had Lemuria. Lemuria was in the fourth dimension. And Atlantis was in the fourth density. And Atlantis was in the third density. And so this is why we can't see them now. Because when they fell into the sea, that was a drop in harmonic frequency and resonance. And so Earth, once separated, Gaia, separated from Tara. This is how, when we talk about Tara, falling apart or breaking apart and separating from Earth. But there's still a part of Tara in Earth, because It is the same oversoul. It comes from the same oversoul. Just like there's a part of my father in me, and a part of my mother in me, and a part of my grandparents in me, and a part of Peyton Randolph and Thomas Jefferson that's in me. It's not me, but it's in me because I'm carrying memories. It's in my DNA. My DNA is memories, just like with seeds, just like with water. Water carries memories, just like crystals. Crystals carry memories. You program stuff on them. So as the glaciers melt, it's not just water that's rising, it's our memory. This rising. That's why so many of us have been flooded emotionally lately. How you've been on an emotional roller coaster. Your dreams are like so vivid. You just, one day you'll just wake up being anxious, or you going through things, like dealing with grief that you've been holding on to for a long time. I mean, you have a lot of this kind of stuff happening. It's because the planet's trauma is moving through the water. It's moving through the water. And this is why I had to go to Siesta Key before the 4th. I was told in my sleep state that I needed to go to Siesta Key, which is Stargate number 2, and I needed to anchor my body. I needed to anchor my body to that area and just be in the moment, not taking anything away, just being there and anchoring my DNA template, because I come from the I can't talk today, Spiral Trinity, which is the Mother Marys through my mom's line. So I can go to the Stargate because this is the Stargate I'm tuned into. This is the Stargate that I was born to be locked into. We all are locked into a particular Stargate. Yours is probably close to where you were born or where you're living now. If you're doing this work right now, it's probably the Stargate that you're most attracted to. The places that you're most attracted to. All these people don't move and visit places of these Stargates for no reason. Your DNA is connected to that Stargate. So I had to go to Siesta Key before the 4th, and it was absolutely adamant that it had to be before the 4th, and I wasn't sure why. And then, my daughter went with me, which I was glad because, my daughter carries the Spiral Codex, just like me, the Trinity Spiral. So she was there with me, and I brought a black tourmaline rock with me and an amethyst, because that's what I was told to take, and I took a smoky quartz crystal. And I just lay there and meditated on the beach, and I said some prayers and just became with that space. And so what we're doing is we're putting our keys in the locks, if that makes sense. All these places all over the world that look like keyholes, it's because our DNA is a key. Okay, so the Earth we live on today isn't the only Earth, and there are other harmonic versions, or different layers is how we should look at it, different layers of Earth that once existed in wholeness. Okay, and these are all of these layers. Here's all of these layers, from the highest density 10 plus all the way down to where we are here. And this is Gaia, Tara, Ashatara, Araminthea, Sophia. Isn't that interesting? This is where Mother's at. And this is a Seraphim. So these are the lands of the Seraphim, the lands of the Mother, lands of Araminthea. Joseph of Arimathea picked up Christ's body after he died. See, this world was, the way that the Earth was set up a long time ago was different. Every 25,000 years, these different portions of Earth start to come together and converge onto it. This is when we come out of the loop and we're going into the spiral. All of this starts converging. And so this is why we're able to starting to see things from these other dimensional spaces, like a lot of more Bigfoot sightings and Dogman sightings, and people are seeing UFOs, and people are seeing otherworldly beings, and people are being visited by people from beings from other dimensions, and they're astral traveling all over the place. This is why all this is happening right now. This is a convergence of this. Okay, so elemental Earth is still stable right now. the angelic earth, which is Tara, the 3 density space. This is the angelic earth, and this is partially fractured. We're doing a lot of work in Tara because Tara is where we had the Atlantis catastrophe, okay? And this Atlantis catastrophe put an overlay on this right here, a trauma. There's trauma locked in Tara into this space, and this is why it's going to be so important for us to really start working with the planet and bringing the planet's memories back, because we have to wake the earth up. And we wake the earth up with our actions, okay? So we have Araminthea rising again, and this is our 5th to 7th density space. And then we have Sophia, and this is our 8th to 9th density space. So these aren't different planets. They're different frequencies of the same Earth Oversoul. They were fractured and separated and forgotten, but now they're all converging. And how are they converging? They're converging through us. This convergence is already happening. And around 2050, much of this Ashara Tara Araminthea field right here will be fully integrated back into Earth. So by 2050, guys, this is amazing. So in 2050, we could really be having an amazing age if we just go and go into this time remembering all the mistakes that we made the last time and don't do them again, right? So the resolution here is not to escape the Earth. All these people that are trying to get off of Earth, well, that's because they want to ruin Earth. But we're not going to do that. We're going to bring heaven to Earth right here. We're going to bring heaven to Earth right here. And so we don't have to fix the Earth, really. If we don't have to stop the water. We just have to become coherent resonance, okay? And some of the things that we need to do. We need to plant seeds. All mother seeds, okay? And I'm going to talk about mother seeds real quick, because I'm going to explain to you exactly what mother seeds do and how crucial, I mean, I cannot express how crucial it is for us all to be planting mother heirloom, non-genetically modified seeds. So important. Okay, every true seed is a memory. It's not a genetic code, but a living harmonics. An echo of time before distortion, before modification, before forgetting. Non-genetically modified seeds, when they're placed into the soil, brings Earth's memory back. Okay? Heirloom seeds carry the original resonance blueprint of the biosphere, untampered, unaltered, and unchanged. So they are frequency archives. Our heirloom seed stock is frequency archives. This is why Noah had to get everything on the ship. He had to bring all the frequency, because he had to unpack all that frequency back onto the planet after the flood. So when we plant ancestral seeds with intention, presence, and breath, we re-encode the land with its pre-distortion intelligence, and we recalibrate the magnetic field. So we have held trauma, extraction, and forgetfulness, that have held trauma, extraction, and forgetfulness. So we're recalibrating all this, and we're inviting the soil to once again resonate in harmonic trust. We have lost the trust. We've lost our relationship with the planet. We've got to build this back, folks. Okay? And why this matters now is genetically modified organisms proliferate on the Earth. They are overriding the Earth's fractal memory structures. They introduce distortion, fragmentation, and dissonance into the living field. I mean, look at citrus greening. Citrus greening just like came out of nowhere like 30-some years ago. Why do you think that all this stuff is happening? There's a reason for it. There's a reason for it. Okay? There's distortion that's being put into onto the Earth. But with heirloom seeds, true mother seeds, it bypasses this interference because they're never edited. They remember what life sounds like before interference. So to plant them is to sing a forgotten song. It's to tune the body of the Earth and reclaim a sovereignty that is so far deeper than ownership. It is frequency stewardship, folks. We need to be frequency stewards to the planet right now. We really do. Every cell of the Earth is listening. And when you plant these seeds, you are not gardening, you are restoring the harmonic archive for the planet. Okay, so one seed becomes a beacon, a garden becomes a field, the field becomes the grid, and then when enough grids awaken, the earth no longer vibrates from memory loss. She vibrates from coherence. So this is how we change this, folks. So planting seeds is one of the most important ways that we can help bring this convergence together and restore Mother Earth's memory. We need to forgive our lineage. We need to forgive it all. It has no purpose right now. This was all an experiment to get us where we are today. It's been 25,000 years of planning. 25,000 years of planning in your genes, in your family line, in everything for right now. Okay? So let's just let it all go. Forgive the whole family. What happened, it doesn't matter anymore. We have to go forward. We have to step into this new timeline. Okay? Walk barefoot in stillness. Speak love into water. Bless your water, folks. Bless your food. Stand calm in chaos. Do not become something that can be harvested. Don't get yourself into a state to have your energy harvested. Okay? Stay calm. You become the place where heaven returns to earth. So the glaciers are melting, but so are the walls between these timelines. So is memory loss. So is fear. You know, heaven doesn't arrive from above. It emerges from within. It emerges from within, folks, just like a seed opening. This is what's happening right now. This is why seeds are so important. We are just like a seed. The plant is just, everything mimics nature. And when we plant the intentions in the earth, then she grows. And so this is so easy. It emerges from within, and it's our coherence, our trust, and our grounded love that brings it into the soil. And the water isn't coming to destroy us. It's coming to remind us. The earth is not dying. She's waking up and remembering, folks. She's working out her trauma. She's releasing all of it. It's all coming out. This is what these floods are. And so through you, so is everything else. So, I mean, and I'll show you, if you look at, this is what this looks like from the side, okay? But I drew it from the top down, okay? And so this is what it looks like from the top down. So it just looks like rings, right? Like Atlantis. Remember, Atlantis was 3 concentric rings? 1, 2, 3. Okay, well, we have Atlantis and we have Lemuria. But they're divided by ice walls. Ice walls. The Antarctic, right? And I'm starting to wonder if this isn't the North Pole that takes you here, because I've met the World Mother, but I'm not exactly sure where I went. I know I went to the North Pole because I went through the Celestial Gate, the Stargate there, and she was on a beach. It looked like a beach, seriously, and I don't know why she was covered up in fur, but she was sitting on a beach. She was sitting on a sandy beach. So maybe she was telling me that, you know, that she's at the Mother Stargate. And that's why she was showing me a beach, which would make sense. And so, you know, the Siesta Key Beach is interesting because that is the Atlantis Stargate. That's the Atlantis Stargate. And when everything happened with Atlantis, all of the huge crystals there that were anchoring that Stargate, they exploded. And this is what the beach of Siesta Key is made out of. It's crushed quartz crystal. So when you're laying there on the beach, man, it is quite a feeling. I was laying there and I was holding those stones in my hand, and my body was vibrating all over. It was really cool. It was really cool. And it was, I mean, what an incredible day. But I tell you, the next day, I had so many mixed up feelings. Like, I literally spent half the day trying to meditate and breathe through it because I was having a lot of pain that was coming through my solar plexus. And I'm pretty sure it's because I'm still merging my timelines that are going right now because of my past. in the SSP programs, and because of the harmonics that my family line has, that we can pass through stargates. So I'm not surprised. I was expecting to be in these programs because I of the way my childhood was, with all the night terrors and nightmares and having to get in bed with my parents and all the weird little things and the things that I said, and that this timeline, actually I sat down with my parents and went through some of these timelines, and my mom was actually able to tell me, oh, when you were 3.5 years old, you had mumps. When you were this and when you were that. When you were 11, well, we moved to Florida, and when you were 11, or we went to Alabama when you were 8. That's when we were in Mackinac Island, Michigan. It's like 100 different things. It just gets you scratching your head. And so she was like, yeah, you really can't unsee once you start seeing and once you start remembering. And everybody is going to be remembered. Just get your hands in the dirt. I'm telling you, that's the way to do it. You got to learn to breathe. You got to spend time outdoors. And you've got to work on just forgiving and letting things go, and trying to use spiritual hygiene, use some spiritual hygiene practices. We're going to get back to these old ways, and it's already going in this direction, folks. People are waking up. People are wide awake. People are waking up to the fact that we're never going to get the Epstein list, because everybody that has the Epstein list is on the Epstein list. All the way to the top, folks. Don't kid yourselves. I know people want to just glamorize everything that has to do with Trump and all of that, and I wish that was possible. But, my spidey sense is telling me that he's on that list. And, it's a damn shame if he is. But that's what my intuition is telling me, and it really sucks. It really sucks. I hope that, I don't know, what are we going to do about all this stuff? We got to look at these people that have been victimized, that are victimizing, and that they've been victimized. And we got to figure out how we're going to bring all this in and take all the shame off of it. Because, see, this is what keeps bad memories and trauma anchored to the planet, is shame. And when you speak about it and you talk about it, you take away the shame from it, right? You take away the secret, it no longer is powerful. No longer powerful. You're free from it. We're a biological computer. Remember that. We are a soul that signed up to have an experience. We are in a computer suit. This is an organic computer suit. And this is many different models later. It used to look like dogs. It used to look like cats. It used to look like bugs. And these beings still exist all over the place. But, we've had a lot of upgrades and a lot of adds and subtracts and modifications and tweaking over time and time and time. I don't even know how long we've had this human form. But I think there's like 30 different upgrades to it. So, this was a lot of work, making a biological computer that can house many, many different types of souls from all different places. So this is why, the human body is so valuable. And the other thing is that our soul is our creativeness and our resourcefulness. We're like the wren. We're resourceful. We're resourceful. So with that, I would love to hear what you have to say. And, I really hope that everyone knows how important this time is, and how important you are, and you're waking up to this time, how important this is right now to the planet. And that we all are going to have to really, really dig deep. So many people are sick. So many people are hurt. So many people are traumatized. So many people are just barely getting by, treading water. But we really got to dig deep, because we've got to go back into our communities. This is the way that we're going to turn the ship around and bring heaven to earth. But there is inevitably, it's happening. It's happening. And by 2050, we'll have almost a complete convergence of, 4 different dimensional spaces that we'll be able to see into. Well, not just 4. It'd actually be able to see all the way to the 9th dimension. And some of you have already seen the 9th dimension. But, you know, everybody will be. And it'll be great. I'm excited. I can't wait. Because then people finally stop calling me a weirdo. And saying that they don't believe a thing I say. You know, and they'll see it too. Because I get tired of being an outcast. You know, I wish everybody else could see it. I really do. I want everybody else to see it. And, you know, because when you see things like this, and when you have communications and you realize that we're just not the only ones here, it causes you to have more accountability for yourself. And you're more grateful, you know, and you do things different, and you walk different, and you treat people different, you know, because it's not all about you. It's not all about you. We signed up for a job here. We came here for a purpose, and we're here to bring this time, and we're supposed to be here to reseed the planet, just like they did when after we've had these cataclysms. We had these people that came out of the sea that looked like fish gods, and they showed the people how to farm again. They showed, okay, that was helping to restore the Earth's memory. They were coming back, obviously, to put everybody back on track, right back on track, you know, because everything is a circle. Except we're coming out of the circle and we're going into the spiral, folks. So things are happening. So don't be scared, and don't sit in fear. Don't manifest a reality like this. Stay calm. Know that we can change all this. We have to stand up for ourselves, folks. It's time for people to start saying, you know what? What the F is going on? What the F is going on in our government? What the heck are these people doing to these kids? We have to take care of our children. This is our legacy. This is Mother Earth's memories in these children, because they have gene codes. So with that, I'd love to hear what you have to say, folks. You know, I know this is some heavy stuff. This is heavy stuff. But I can assure you that planting mother heirloom seeds, it can't be a wrong decision. It can't be a wrong decision. Even if you don't want to believe what I'm saying to be fact, still just do it for the planet. Do it for yourself. You get the same size plant every single time. It's not been changed. It's the original. We could do this for the planet. We can do this to the planet. And we can also start setting up seed banks. I'm setting up a seed bank right now, and we need to do seed exchanges. We need to have co-ops all across the world where people are exchanging seeds, so everybody can afford to plant a garden and get anything that you can get to grow there by trading and bartering. Let's take ourselves out of all of this, because this is the root of all evil. This is what's got us here to start with, folks. We have to get out of the matrix. We have to become self-sustainable. So when you come and find me, I'll be here, because we're living in the past, present, and future all at the same time. Don't forget to get outside today. I'm planting a bunch of different beans. There is a wonderful site. It's called freeheirloomseeds.com. You can go to them and look at their website. For a donation of $10, you can order 15 packs of heirloom seeds. I donated $30, and I ordered 45 packs of heirloom seeds. And I'm going to grow these in my garden. I'm going to grow these in my garden. And, you know, this is the way that we're going to help the planet. And, you know, when I harvest these seeds after I plant them, I can share them with other people, and they can plant in their gardens too. And we can all help each other. So I hope that you guys are so excited about the changes that are coming in the planet. Yeah, it does seem rough right now, but, you know, we have to have cause to have effect. We have to have cause to have effect. And so we need to rally around these people that are in these areas that are getting hit right now. We have got to be a community for these folks. They need us. They need us. And, you know, there's going to be times that we're going to need other people too, right? We've got to get into our communities, and we've got to love our brothers. We got to be our brothers' keepers. So I hope to catch you on the next one. Have a great day today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And thanks for spending 29 minutes with me today on Sacred Enzyme. Have a great day. Bye-bye.